Good morning, everyone. So Michèle and I, we're just the first line here on the program. So you can see that there's a long list of interventions, so brace yourselves. So this Forum des Images is funded by the Paris City Hall in particular. So we are public service institution. We are here to present generations of artists, of video makers who come here at the Forum des Images to present their works. And of course, all these works are now being disseminated in all types of screens, which means that we have had to redefine our work a little bit, trying to see how we can create things together. So we are going to be talking about the emergence of new images. We have a new images festival. We've created a school as well, a conservatory. We have 1,200 young people who come and take part to our TUMO program. The idea is to create new generations of artists. We are, on the one hand, an historical place where we're trying to disseminate cinema, movies, video games, but it's also a place of creation where young people can learn how to create. So Michèle is going to say a few words about the New Images Festival. Thank you very much, Claude. Hello, everyone. When Nils called us in 2018 to ask us if we wanted to go through the ISEA adventure once again after 2000, where it first took place, when Nils organized it, it was exactly the right time for us because we had just opened TUMO, which aims at fostering creation amongst teenagers. And we're now working with new artists on a new medium. We are organizing residences through various bilateral programs. We're working with Quebec, for example. So we thought, you know what? Yes, let's go through it. And we're part of the adventure. We'll commit to organizing ISEA. And ever since 2020, we do our best to support Nils and his team. Well done, Nils, and well done, Cleo, as well. You have done amazing work with the Forum des Images in the past 6 months. It is very important for us to be able to welcome you all here at the Forum des Images, to be able to listen to the artists, to support you all throughout this ISEA week. We want to see what will become of the arts of tomorrow. As a platform, we are here to organize debates. So we want to see what will be the impact of AI in art, what will be the new usages within the metaverse or outside the metaverse. We thought that it was very important for us to welcome you all here today at the Forum des Images. So I don't know whether we should just give the floor to Nils. Yes, I will give the floor to Nils. We didn't really have time to repeat, I'm afraid. So thank you very much to all of you, and we'll see you on the 24th and 28th of April next year for the New Images Festival, a festival with a distribution market as well. So you're most welcome to come. Thank you very much. And I'm now going to ask Nils Aziosmanoff, executive producer of ISEA 2023, to come and join us. Thank you very much, Éloi. Good morning, Deputy General of Quebec, members of the ISEA board, members of the organization committee of ISEA France, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good morning. Now, it is with quite some emotion that I get to open the 18th edition of the ISEA Festival. As Michèle and Claude mentioned, I had the pleasure 23 years ago to run the ISEA 2000 edition here at the Forum des Images. I was working then with Michèle Relac, but today we are hosted by Claude Farge's team, and I would like to warmly thank them. There's no better place to host this ISEA festival on digital art. Thank you so much for your warm welcome. So it seems that history is repeating itself, but it's also turning towards the future to analyze the evolution of digital art. So we've been doing so for more than 20 years. When we started, we had representatives from 30 countries. Today, we have representatives from 70 countries, which shows the evolution and the boom of digital art in France and across the world. So after the era of pioneers, groundbreakers, we are now entering the new era of builders, which is why we have picked the theme of symbiosis for this 2023 edition. Symbiosis has two aspects, two faces. It can be a relationship based on mutual interest and common good. ISEA aims at providing a meaning to progress, to evolution, but also aims at adopting a more philosophical and ethical approach regarding the new perspectives that are brought by digital arts. For those of you who haven't heard of ISEA, there might be a few, we have a symposium, we have an artistic program, and a hybrid dimension. During 6 days, artists, experts, researchers have been selected by an international jury will come and present their work and have a discussion with the public. An artistic program is also exhibited here, but also in various venues in Paris and across France. It is also a hybrid event, allowing people to follow this event online in the best possible conditions. Some figures, as you could see with this 28th edition, is particularly dense. We have received 1,400 applications for calls for projects, more than 70 represented countries, more than 500 artists, and I've also counted the number of emails that I've received to prepare ISEA, 5,549 emails. Also, the hybrid dimension means that the symposium is going to be broadcasted live in high definition, and it will be translated in French and English. And I'd like to thank the broadcasting teams that have really made sure that you could have access to this event in the best possible quality. And we also have a metaverse space that will present the works of all of our artists. The metaverse is accessible via all screens and via virtual reality headsets as well that are available here at the Forum des Images at your disposal. Thank you very much to all of our partners, the Ministry of Culture, CNC, Maïf, the Electra, the Quebec regional direction. Thank you so much. Quebec is very much present indeed during this edition of ISEA. Quebec has a great digital artwork program, and in fact, I'd like you to have a look at the Inferno artwork that will be presented on a Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Thanks to the support of Quebec. So you absolutely need to attend this event. This will allow you to get to know this new innovation pole, the Cube, that just opened. And there will also be the opportunity to dance with some exoskeletons as well. So I won't say no more, but you will get to find it out about it very soon. So on behalf of the organizing team, I would like to thank all of our partners. Thank you to the ISEA International Board as well. And of course, I would like to mention the director of the board. Thank you so much for being here today. And thank you to the French organizing committee as well. That's been working for us with for the past 4 years trying to organize this event. So here's a picture of the Inferno artwork. And finally, great thanks to the production team, Cleo, Clément, Alicia, Fanny, Sonia, Claude, Michèle, Nathalie, Emmanuel, Edith, Pauline. Again, you have worked so hard to make sure that this event would be of the highest quality. Thank you in particular to Emmanuel Malé and Claude Farge and Michèle Ziller, who 4 years ago decided to commit and take part to this adventure. I would like to then thank you as well for attending this 28th edition, and I'm sure that it will generate some very productive discussions. Thank you. Thank you, Nils. And I'm sure that you will receive more than 6,000 mails altogether in the next few days. I'm now going to ask Michèle Boisvert to come and join us here on stage. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I'd like to welcome the organizing committee, the board, all our different partners. I'm very pleased to see the place that is reserved for Quebec here at ISEA, which shows the best in terms of innovation and creation, art, science, and technology. And we can see that for this 28th edition, we have a record number of partners and artists. More than 70 countries are being represented here, as you said, for this 28th edition of ISEA. Thank you very much to the 2023 Organizing Committee. Thank you to Cube Garge. And Quebec has great relationships with these partners, and I'm sure that it is promised a great future. Thank you so much for having invited us as representatives of Quebec to take part to this event. This focus on Quebec was produced by Electra Montréal with the support of the Conseil des Arts et des Lettres in Quebec, the Ministry of Culture, the Ministry of International Relations, and the Francophone world. With the support, of course, of the General Delegation of Quebec in Paris that I represent here today this morning. I am extremely proud of this exclusive opportunity that is ISEA, an opportunity to present a range of the diversity of Quebec art with an exhibition here at the Forum des Images that gathers artworks from a dozen artists. There's a performance as well at the Cube Garge that will take place on Friday and Saturday, as mentioned by Nils. And there's a France-Quebec roundtable as well that will take place sometimes during this festival. The year 2023 is the French Quebec Year of Innovation. The OFQJ also organized a delegation of 20 French and Quebec researchers that are working on the mutations of innovations in art. I wish you all a great ISEA a week full of encounters and inspiring discussions. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Michèle Boisvert. And I now ask Emmanuel Tibloux, the General Director of the École des Arts Décoratifs, to come and join us here on stage. A round of applause, of course. Good morning, everyone. Decorative arts are historically arts of living, arts of the home. To live, home, these words have an earthly meaning. Societies need not only to learn how to live, but also need to make sure that the living conditions can improve. Such is the role of the École des Arts Décoratifs, the School of Decorative Arts, more than 200 years after its creation in 1766. Our role is to train artists and designers so that they can invent our new living conditions of the future. Today we are working with various creative sectors, interior decorations, arts, animation, fashion, set decoration, through various programs, master's degree, degrees. We have various ways of conceiving things, naturally, visually, digitally, etc. The School of Decorative Arts has agreed to organize this 28th edition of the ISEA 2023 festival as the academic administrator of the festival. I'd like to thank our closest partners of this amazing adventure, the International ISEA Board. Thank you for your trust. The Cube as well, the Forum des Images, with whom we've been working for more than 2 years on preparing this edition. All this wouldn't have been made possible without the support, the financial support, and the discussions that we have had with our partners. Nils Aziosmanoff has already mentioned them, but I can only echo him in thanking our partners, in particular two that are particularly dear to our school, the Ministry of Culture in particular, which is also the Ministry of Art of Living, and the DGCA as well, the General Direction of Artistic Creation. And I'd like to thank Christopher Miles, its director, in particular, Denis Declerc, Thibaut Elpin. They have the huge responsibility of steering the national art schools and design schools from the DGCA. I'd like to thank the Fondation Daniel and Nina Carasso. We have a close relationship with them. We've been working on common values, in particular the environmental impact of art and creation. We have been working together on the composition of knowledge, and we are teaching this discipline with the Polytechnic School and the support of the foundation as well. This foundation supported our students during the COVID-19 crisis. and welcomed refugee students after the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. Thank you so much to the Curaçao Foundation and to its team. The crisis that we went through, that we are still going through, is not only a health crisis. It is also a social, a political, an environmental crisis, an anthropological crisis, all in all. This 2023 edition is focusing on the theme of symbiosis, trying to find answers to all these modern and current challenges. Emmanuel Mahé, the co-chair, will explain to us later on how we have worked on the program of this ISEA edition. The notion of symbiosis derives from symbiosis amongst natural species such as lichen and mushrooms. It is a source of inspiration to us. It is in a symbiotic spirit that we are trying to train our students, integrating all elements from the living and the non-living. I'm talking about material structures that we want to place at the heart of our teachings. As we are teaching art and design in France. We have for a very long time focused on visual cultures, but we are now trying to integrate material cultures as well, as they are key, especially if we want to tackle the environmental crisis. If we want to place symbiosis if we're placing symbiosis at the heart of our teaching, it's by creating bridges between arts and design, but also bridges between arts and sciences, humanities, and the most experimental sciences as well. Before I give the floor to Emmanuel Mahé, our head of research and academic supervisor of this ISEA edition, I would like once again to thank the ISEA 2023 team, Nils Aziosmanoff in particular, Clio Krasewska, the head of production, and their teams as well as the decorative art schools team, Edith Buzer in particular, Pauline Barthes, who together have co-organized the call for projects, all the teachers of NSAD Lab that have actively taken part to the organization of this week. I wish you all a beautiful week full of discoveries and encounters under the theme of symbiosis. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. And I now give the floor to another Emmanuel, Emmanuel Mahé, Head of Research for the Decorative Art School. Give him a round of applause.
Oui, bonjour à tous, ça fonctionne. Alors,
Good morning, everyone. I am quite moved to see how many people are in this room. We were quite stressed out before the event. We knew that there would be many people, but as organizers, it's always a bit stressful before the event. If people are actually going to show up. So thank you to all of you. Now we're going to have a round table later on with the co-chairs, the programming committee. So we will give you an idea of how we organize the selection and the programming of this event. But coming back to ISEA, I'm quite proud and moved to be here because actually I'm not going to give you my whole life story, but in the 1990s, an electronic art festival was set up in Rennes. We were in charge of this. I think René Malina will talk about this. The first edition of ISEA dates back to 1988, and at the time we were a small club, and we really believed in technology. We trusted artists and designers to have enough a critical spirit and a critical mind to seize these technological tools. And very often on TV, on the radio, we talk about new technologies and we talk about the fact artists are making these tools their own. But ISEA has been showing for a long time that artists, visionaries, designers co-develop these schemes and are really part of the innovation process. ISEA is taking place in Paris today. We really looked at what happened in Montreal, and we were very inspired by this experience. They had to organize a symposium in 2019 in the middle of COVID. It was quite complicated. Now, we chose a hybrid solution because we have a remote audience listening to us on top of the audience attending physically this event. So it's really a tool to develop local and territorial ecosystems. It's very important for us to have set up this organizing committee. I'm not going to mention all the universities and all the art schools who actually took part in this work, but it is a way, and I would like to really underscore this and pay homage to the general delegate and the CNEG. It's really important for Montreal, for the CNEG. It's a real model in terms of design and creation in its creative principles, but its creative spirit too. We set up different PhDs, one of them in France. We're not the only ones to do this, but you've been pioneers in this field. You've been doing this for more than 20 years. And ISEA has managed to set up a Quebec and Montreal ecosystem that is absolutely wonderful, and we draw our inspiration from this model to develop our model here in Paris. So to finish this presentation, I would like to extend my thanks to the International Board. Thank you to Roger Malina. In 1999, I invited him to the Electronic Arts Festival. It was a while back. Thank you to Pat Panani, Sue Colifer, for their very precious support. And of course, as always, I would like to thank all the teams. I won't be able to mention everyone, but Clio Krabczewska, who took over a few months ago to organize this Parisian edition. I would like to thank also Pauline Barthes, I mentioned her earlier, to Edith Cuser also for her very important support. Thank you to all of you. Thank you, Emmanuel. And we'll meet right after this to tell you all about this programming, the selection, and the whole process. I'm now going to ask Nadine Naas to come on stage. She is a Mahé administrator. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Can't see your faces. It's quite dark, but it will do. I'm very happy to speak before you on behalf of the Mahé this morning and to tell you what our motivations are in this partnership. Mahé has been a partner for ISEA for a while, and this edition is taking place in France. It was natural for us to support this major event dedicated to digital arts. We are committed to the common good. Mahé wants to encourage access to culture and has been striving to do so for years. We especially want digital arts to be accessible for the public at large. Culture enriches people and helps gather crowds, opening doors towards critical spirit. Mahé has been supporting committed players over the whole territory. We very often fund major exhibitions at the Grand Palais, for instance. We also supported major cultural events at the Cité des Sciences et de l'Industrie, also Nuit Blanche à Paris, Jazz in Marciac. We encourage the emergence of plastic artists via the Maïf Award for Sculpture that was created in 2008. Since 2020, this award has been given to artists and work arts using innovating digital technologies in the design process or the production process. We also want to encourage the cultural learning through experience with the Maïf Social Club, where shows and events take place in Paris. More than 40,000 visitors attend every year. And we also have an international jury with Itzan Timothy Thomason, the digital artist, and Benjamin Kinden. They're all part of the jury.
Voilà pour vous dire quelques mots au sujet de ce que fait.
So now you have a better idea of what Maïf does.
Alors pour ISEA,
now turning to ISEA, we joined the circle of partners so as to support the broadcasting live and post-broadcasting of all these events to give life to all these digital forms, to foster research and creation. It was a priority for us. The participants will be able to attend all the highlights of this symposium and 2 conferences that Maïf also wanted to organize. One conference entitled What Type of Digital Technologies for My Planet with Juliette Duquesne, followed by a roundtable. Digital technologies, tools, or artistic revolution. And we will talk about the Maïf Award for Culture, and that will take place tomorrow. These conferences echo work that Maïf has been doing for a few years around education. What is our vision of digital technology concretely? I'm not going to dwell on that, but we have a digital platform available, and we have a scheme aiming at going to see the public at large all over France and try to connect citizens via digital tools of the different territories. Just like ISEA, we try to cultivate a certain form of symbiosis. Maïf also funds the augmented artistic catalog, and this catalog will help the audience live a metaverse audience and discover major works. Lastly, together with local cultural players, some Maïf delegations will contribute to helping people have access to digital culture via artistic pathways that are being worked on in Saint-Denis, for instance, in the Reunion Island, the Tetris in Le Havre, or the Cube in Garges-les-Gonesse, of course. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, Nadine. Thank you to Maïf. This is a hybrid and augmented event. This short-lasting event is becoming long-lasting thanks to you, amongst others. I'm now going to ask Stéphane Maradeix, Director General of the Daniel and Nina Carasso Foundation, to come to the floor. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here. And I would like to extend my thanks to the organizers of ISEA 2023 for having invited us to contribute to this event. And we're going to also bring our contribution to it. I would like to thank all the speakers who will take part in the coming roundtable organized with the help of the Daniel and Nina Carasso Foundation. What is this foundation all about? It was created in 2010. It's a family foundation based in France and Spain, working on sustainable of food. Sustainability is a topic that we're going to talk a lot about over the next few days. We also work around the citizen art concept. And we also developed in 2010, at the very beginning, a program that was first entitled Arts and Science and then Arts, Science and Society. The goal of this program is to help the founder, Malina, honor the memory of her parents. Daniel Carasso, for those of you who don't know, founded Danone in France and in the US. He was fascinated by science and technology. He is the first man to have really brought a high level of technology in a company that was quite basic to start with. And he was always fascinated with technology. He spent many hours in the research center. I'm telling you all this because this passion for science comes from him, and the passion for arts comes from his wife, Nina. So the foundation really wanted to pay tribute to this couple. And I would like to thank Emmanuel Tibloux and our partners at INSAD for all their kind words on the foundation and the fact that we have been working hand in hand for many years within the chair and elsewhere to promote this marriage between science and arts. So ISEA is absolutely in line with this, with what we want to promote. It's at the crossroads of the work we've been doing for about 10 years now. Work on arts, science, technology, but also education, societal challenges, or challenges linked to sustainability. We already launched a new vision of a fairer and more ecological society via different initiatives in the framework of our chair. Now, the next strategy, 2024-2028, will focus on these ecological transitions. But let's not forget the social and societal dimensions of our work. So ISEA is a major event for arts, science, technology, and digital arts. And it was obvious for us that we needed to support this event, and we wanted to do more than simply supporting financially this event. We got involved in the work, and you'll see this in the next roundtable, and we got involved in the sustainability topics so that this event can actually measure its environmental weight when organizing this type of event. So this event is a hybrid event. This is already a good step towards sustainability. And thanks to the Cube consulting firm that we know, Le Bulbe, sorry, not the Cube, a consulting firm we know quite well, we worked on how we can have a more responsible event. So the idea is to empower the organization teams so that production is more responsible, sustainable, and so that ISEA keeps growing in its next editions. The criteria the teams worked on are very down-to-earth criteria, very practical to reduce the environmental impact of the event. So less waste, more responsible purchases. I know that there was a whole discussion on tote bags, having stakeholders also, choosing carefully the suppliers of this event, and we also wanted to encourage the positive impact of the event via educational actions. And we will have a carbon balance after this event. So all these are just examples, but they contribute to an approach which is there to last. In the current context of several crises, arts must absolutely play its role as a civil catalyst. It must help imagine a sustainable future and help seize the reality of the interdependency of the living. It must encourage different actions to come up with new ways of living on Earth, our home, our sole and unique home. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you, Stéphane Maradeix. Thank you very much. And to finish this ceremony, I'm going to ask Roger Malina, member of the ISEA International Board, to please come to the stage. Roger Malina. Good morning. I'd like to start by thanking the Carasso Foundation. I think yogurt is symbiotic. You were indeed pioneers. You saw the emergence of ISEA, which is sustainable.
I'm a member of the board of directors of ISEA, and I think we have some other board members in the room. Can you just please stand up? Members of the board of directors, hello, hello, hello. Thank you. I'm not going to name you each individually, but you will be meeting people during the week. I'd like to emphasize two things, that the board are creative bureaucrats. We underestimate the role of bureaucrats in enabling creative work. The other thing that I just want to emphasize, and I think it was Pat Badani, I forget who yesterday, ISEA is nomadic. We respect migrants. ISEA moves around the planet. It will be in South Korea next year, in Australia the next year. We were in Cape Town, South Africa. We are nomadic, and we are proud to be nomadic. And that means also creative and intellectual nomads. We learn from our mistakes. I also want to just very quickly thank Wim van der Plas. Is he in the room today? Maybe he couldn't come. Is Wim here? Okay, Wim, you are a troublemaker. You are a creative troublemaker. You and Theo Hesper took the train to London in 1986, and we drank a lot of beer together. Your dream was ISEA, and here we are in 2023, thanks to Wim and Theo. Theo is now in Thailand or in Southeast Asia somewhere, but thank you. Sometimes a simple dream of three people changes the history of ideas. The first ISEA was in Holland, Pays-Bas, Netherlands, in 1987. I was the editor of the Leonardo publications, and with no proposal, no funding, no plan, I agreed to publish the proceedings of the first ISEA in Leonardo. And here I am again. The first ISEA, the one thing I remember is there was a tribe of Australians who showed up. Are there any Australians here in the room? Yay! You know, I don't know, this was before the internet, really. Somehow a group of 20 Australians showed up for the first ISEA. And I think that's part of nomadism. They didn't come on camels, they came on kangaroos. Kangaroos are better designed than humans. They have a leg you can lean on when you're talking. I just wanted to mention one of the things that happened in the board of directors meeting yesterday. We think it's time to change the name of ISEA. We'd like to keep the logo because the marketing people tell me that Coca-Cola tried that once and you don't change the logo, but we can change what the letters mean. So this is an open call for proposals. The board has one idea, but maybe you have a different idea, because the interesting thing is ISEA is nomadic. It meant one thing in 1987. It means something different today, and 10 years from now, hopefully it will change our name again. It's like ISEA is getting married and changing its name. I just want to thank two other people that are under the hood. One is Annick Bureau. Annick, I think you're here. You're awake. Who's the director of the French EU Leonardo, that has worked tightly with the Fondation Carasso, making trouble. And then Diana Aitenshenker, whose carbon footprint is not desirable because she came all the way from the United States to be here with all of us this week. And I'm not going to call them creative bureaucrats, but they are agile thinkers. And sometimes you need to change your mind, and both of them have taught me to do that. So I'm just going to finish and suggest that at the next ISEA in Paris, next century or whenever, hopefully Quebec will be interested in sponsoring another ISEA, that we have an exhibition by creative bureaucrats. The people who stood up here and were sponsors of this event, they have ideas too. So maybe an exhibition of creative work by bureaucrats at the next ISEA in Paris. Thank you.